time. We're going to be talking about time here in today's video. Stay tuned till the end because I got a special announcement for y'all. And as always, thank you for being here. Welcome back to my channel, Live From The End with Jay. So, we're going to be talking about time in a little bit of a different way when it comes to the speed of how your manifestations come in. The speed of which your manifestations come in, like how fast they come in. You feel me? But it may be a little foreign to you because I haven't heard other coaches talk about it in this way, but it's filled with truth. There are certain aspects of spiritual law that will always be in effect. No matter how you look at it, no matter how you perceive it, whether you believe it or not, whether you assume it to be true or not, because spiritual law, quote unquote, transcends belief. It transcends everything, okay? The law of assumption, the law of attraction, whatever you want to identify it as, whatever mentality you choose to proceed with, they're all byproducts of spiritual law, okay? So time. How fast does your manifestation come in? It's not dependent on minutes, hours, days, years, anything like that. Time is an illusion. Time is a man-made thing to keep us in check so we know when to be at work on time. So we know when to be at the airport on time to catch our flight, and so on and so on. But how fast your manifestation comes in is not dependent upon that, okay? It's not dependent upon that at all. It has nothing to do with it. Time has nothing to do with it in the slightest, at all. Here's the thing. What it is dependent upon is how many impulses is it going to take to get you your desire? How many people need to be moved to get you your desire? Everybody is yourself pushed out. That is an aspect of spiritual law that is always in effect. Whether you believe it or not. Oh, the cleaners are here. Whether you believe it or not, whether you assume it to be true or not, whether you think it's true, feel it's true, it is something that is always in effect, okay? You are the infinite source experiencing itself, whether you want to call it God, fucking source energy, infinite intelligence, divine intelligence, same thing, different terminology. You are an aspect of that experiencing itself. I would even go so far as to say you are that experiencing itself, okay? Nothing is separate of your awareness. Nothing is separate of God. That is something that's always in effect. You can't turn it off. It's not just sometimes happening. It's not just other times happening. It doesn't just sometimes happen with this and then it doesn't happen with that. It's always, 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 always happening. Always. So when you impress your subconscious mind with, let's say, a desire of, and it could be a minuscule desire like you getting a fucking chocolate bar at a corner store. But let's say you impress the subconscious mind with, let's say, being in a happy, fulfilled, whole and complete, beautiful, passionate, loving marriage with your person with 5 beautiful babies, a great grand old house, great finances, great health, and so on. That would be considered a more complex manifestation, a bigger desire, right? When you impress the subconscious mind with that desire, which is the only requirement to experiencing what you want, whatever is impressed must be made manifest in this physical reality, right? But let's say you impress the mind with that idea, with that, imaginal act or that affirmation, whatever the case may be. What will happen is the moment it's impressed, everybody else's quote-unquote mind is impressed. Whether that be one person, 10,000, a million, or a billion, you'll never know the exact number. That's the behind-the-scenes part of it. But it's not dependent on, okay, years, minutes, hours, days. It's how many impulses, like I said before, is it going to take to get you your desire? How many impulses is it going to take for your person to reach out to you? How many thoughts need to be experienced for your person to reach out to you? Or for you to bump into them at like a supermarket or something or a gas station? That's what it's dependent upon. That's the only reason why it may seem like it's taking a while in the sense of hours, minutes, days, years, That's it. Well, not the only reason. The other part of it could be that you are completely, predominantly focused on the lack of this thing. Like you have this desire of being married to them, but you're constantly choosing and allowing yourself to focus on what you don't want. That could potentially, for lack of a better word, and I use this term loosely, delay the process. But to be honest with you, in my experience, that's not really the case for most people. Most people, believe it or not, in this community are not at that level to where the only thing they fucking see is negative involving the desire. And I've talked to a lot of people. I've talked to tens of thousands of people over the span of, the 11 or so years that I've been doing this. Well, realistically, about 8 years, because I spent the first couple years really diving in and getting to know myself in relation to manifestation, collecting information, expanding my knowledge and whatnot. But anyways, I've talked to a lot of people, and most people aren't like that. All right, so yeah, I wanted to clarify this because a lot of people seem to think, oh, you know, to be honest with you, not to cut myself off, but you can have a grand old self-concept too. Let me tell you something. And it can still seem to take a while, because just because you have a grand old self-concept doesn't automatically mean poof, it's going to come in. You can even have the assumption that you manifest it instantly and it still not be the case. Still not be the case, because remember what I talked about? There are certain aspects of spiritual law that are always in effect, that transcend belief, your assumptions, etc. This is another part of that aspect. Okay, the first part of it that I mentioned is everybody's yourself pushed out. The second part of it is every single human being on this earth, whether they're consciously manifesting something or subconsciously manifesting something, is going to be experiencing some type of bridge of events or orchestration of events. Whether you believe it or not, whether you assume that to be true or not, there's always going to be a bridge of events. Now, that bridge, that orchestration of events may be very, very, very minuscule. There virtually may not be anything that needs to be moved to get your desire. And it may take only a few impulses, let's say with the person, to reach out to you. Okay? That could be a possibility. That is a possibility. That is the truth. Now, if you have a good self-concept, you know, if you are living your life and you're living your life to the fullest and you're whole and complete within yourself and you're just doing your best to stay happy, and you're living from the end, blah, 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 all these great things, right? In my opinion, it will reduce the amount of impulses that it's going to take to get you your desire. It will reduce the amount of pieces that need to be moved to get you your desire. Therefore, to your mind, it will happen faster. It will be experienced faster. But it has nothing to do with minutes, hours, days, years, okay? Now, here's the announcement for you guys. All right, if you have any questions about anything I said in this video up to this point, by the way, just post them down below. Follow me on TikTok, so I'm going to be posting about this on there as well. But here's the announcement, all right? So I'm making this announcement because I realized I only did this in the community tab. I don't think I actually did this on a post. But I've decided to extend this little thing that I have going on where it's 7 days email, okay? And a 45-minute call. Now, before it was just 30-minute call. So it's 7 days email and a 45-minute call. Okay, now both of those things are the value of 180. And I've decided to drop those things down to 100. Okay, so a 45-minute session and 7 days email. Okay, I would suggest if you guys are interested to do the 45-minute call first, just so I can get to know you, your circumstances, what you're going with, what you're dealing with, excuse me. And then we can hop right into the email style coaching. Okay, so if you guys are interested, let me know. I will do whatever I can to help you. And I'm pretty fucking flexible, man. All right. So other than that, you guys have a beautiful rest of your day.